What's going on? Welcome back to Build Your Empire. So, what I want to talk to you all today about building your empire is wholesaling real estate. And what I want to talk about is not particularly a fun topic because I feel like I'm going to bash wholesaling a little bit, even though I wholesale and I put everything, I make a lot of money off of wholesaling. But the reason why I want to talk about wholesaling and how you can build your empire by wholesaling as well as doing other things. So the first topic I want to pick up, because I want to get right into this episode, is I want to talk about overcrowding in wholesaling. Wholesaling is extremely overcrowded. Currently, we listed a property on Facebook Marketplace, and we have over 2,000 views and over 600 shares of this particular property. 90% of the people that contacted us were wholesalers. And there may be one other person or two people out of the 2,000 people that looked at the thing and made comments. Only two of them are serious buyers. The other, I'd say, 100 that contacted us were wholesalers. The reason I feel like this is an issue is because I believe that the YouTubers that started just giving away information for free, like Max Maxwell and a few other wholesalers, they actually gave out the information but didn't give people any education. So now you have people that are coming into the market that want to wholesale, but they look at it as a get-rich-quick scheme. They're thinking that, hey, I can get one property, make $100,000, and I'm set for the rest of my life. And that's not how wholesaling works. Wholesaling works when you buy a property or put a property under contract, and you make, say, 2, 3, 5, 10, 15,000. If the property has a lot of meat on the bone, you can make about 15,000 per property. But typically, wholesalers make less than 10,000 per property. However, when you have overcrowding and you have people thinking that they're going to get rich quick, you have a whole lot of people in the industry, and I feel they're going to give it a bad name. Why they're going to give it a bad name is because they're just trying to get rich quick. Just like when people got into, selling illegal drugs, they were selling it because it was easy money. And I feel those same people are coming over to wholesaling because they look at it as easy money, because they've been taught from the YouTubers that, hey, this is an easy way to get 10, 20, 50, $100,000 without putting any time in, without putting any education into it, without really understanding what they're doing. And even so, and that comes from overcrowding. Also, from what comes from overcrowding is a lack of education of real estate. Now, I was a real estate agent for several years, over 10 years. So I have a background in real estate information. And even before I became a real estate agent, I read books and went to seminars for about 5 years before I even became a real estate agent. And I had already purchased properties before I became an agent. So it's just the young people that are getting into it now, or just anybody in general, they're not educating themselves. They just think, hey, I'm going to make $50,000 on a property. They're not really understanding what comps are. Comps are comparative market analysis, where you're looking at the other houses that sold in the neighborhood in the same condition, same size, same structures, so to speak. But however, they're not doing that. They're just looking for a get-rich-quick scheme. They think they're going to find a house. They think they're going to put it on the market, and they think they're going to make $50,000 to $100,000 with no work. That doesn't happen realistically. Now, you may get one off. And I remember when I got my first, I don't want to say my first, because like I said, I've been buying properties for years. But I remember when I first saw the term wholesaling, because I didn't call it wholesaling. I just called it, buying and flipping properties. But I remember when I saw Max Maxwell on YouTube, and what he said was, I looked at the videos, Driving for Dollars, and using PropStream and all these sites and REI Skip sites that he owns. And I said, okay, well, you know what? I'm going to use some of his tactics and see if I can get more properties under contract. So I put out 100 bandit signs, and with those 100 bandit signs, I got a property, a house under contract. And with that house, I actually made $10,000 from that house. So I remember going to, this was back in 2018. I remember going to one of his meetups. It may be 2019. I was going to one of his meetups, and I said, well, look, I saw you about a month ago, and I actually put out bandit signs, and I got a deal, and I got another property under contract. And he was like, it's not going to be that easy. He said, you might as well accept that one property is the easiest property you will ever do. However, everything else isn't going to be that easy. And the reason I think he said that is because he understood that it's economies of scale. The more people you got out there trying to wholesale, the less properties you as an individual buyer are going to be able to buy or acquire or wholesale. So let's say when I started back in, the early 2000s, nobody was wholesaling. Nobody was sending out letters. And I don't want to say nobody. Very few people were sending out letters. Very few people were putting up bandit signs. Very few people were knocking on doors. I was knocking on doors. I was putting up flyers. I was sending letters. This was back in the early 2000s. Fast forward it. Now you have it. Like I said, it may have been 5 wholesalers, what they call wholesalers now. Like I said, I just called it flipping properties back then. But it may have been 5 wholesalers in, let's say, Greensboro, North Carolina, where I was. But now, let's say in a city like Greensboro, you may have 10,000 wholesalers, and everybody's trying to find that one property, and everybody's trying to get rich off of that one property. You know what I'm saying? So that's another issue. So the first issue is overcrowding. The second issue is lack of education. The third issue is the deals. People right now, you're not going to be able to find a deal like that. Why? Because people are holding on to their properties longer. Why are they holding on to the properties longer? It's because there is an inventory. There's no inventory out here because the builders aren't building as many homes. There's still a deficit of 6.5 million homes that need to be built from back in 2007, 8, 9, where builders stopped building. So guess what? We have a deficit of 6.5 million homes that need to be built to get rid of old inventory as well as to clean up and bring in new inventory. So I say all that to say you have people who are holding on to those properties because they can't find a move up property or a move down property. And because they can't find that, guess what they're doing? They're holding on to them. So now the stuff that the wholesalers were trying to get to or trying to get because it's older stock, there's no mortgage, it's out of state owners, it's tenant occupied, it's non-owner occupied, all of those things all of the cues that you look for. Now you have to look for the more drastic properties like foreclosures. And I'm gonna bring up foreclosures right quick because I actually started going to the foreclosure auctions locally because I had some capital that I needed to disperse. And it's this certain group of investors that every property, and it's a group of wholesalers, because what they do is they go to the auction, they buy a property, and they immediately put it onto the MLS and try to sell it. And if they can't sell it, then they buy it and they don't renovate the properties. They actually just hold on to them, keep them on the MLS until they sell them. And that's another form of wholesaling. They're buying foreclosed properties and just turning around, doing absolutely no renovations and selling those properties. So I say all that to say it's so many different ways that you can wholesale properties. So for instance, that group, what did I say? Overcrowding, non-education. This is buying foreclosed properties, wholesaling those, as well as even the tax sale. There's people going to the tax sale, but the tax sales are so overcrowded. Why are they overcrowded? Because now the corporations are coming in and deciding, hey, we want a piece of that. We want to buy these properties. We want the opportunity to buy these properties because if we have the opportunity, guess what? We can then rotate our money or turn our money, make 5, 10, 20% on our money. So now you have that competition. So it's so many different competitors. And and trying to get into whether it's wholesale and hold up. Okay, so I'm gonna finish this thought. It's so many competitors that it's a little bit unbelievable and it's hard to get into, right? And on top of the competitors, it's also the inventory. So it's so much things that you have to deal with when you're trying to get into this market and make money, building your empire. So I just wanted to drop in and do this one video just to let you know that, look, wholesaling, I feel that is dead. Is it still money to be made in wholesaling? Yes, it's still money to be made. But I feel you have to find different avenues and different ideas to continue to stay relevant and to continue to make money in real estate. Because if you don't have a hedge fund connection, or if you don't have a $50 million fund, or if you don't have a couple $100 million, guess what? It's going to be hard out there for you, because everybody wants to wholesale. Everybody wants to make a whole lot of money, what they've learned from YouTubers. And I mean, I admit I learned a lot of stuff from YouTube. I learned how to renovate, certain areas. I learned I learned different ideas based on wholesaling, ideas based on real estate. I learned that. Even though I know a lot of real estate stuff, I still learn stuff every day that's new to me. So like I said, I just wanted to drop in, do this episode. This is episode 2, season 1, episode 2 of Build Your Empire. Like, subscribe, and share. Also share this video. You can also find this video, the video form on my YouTube page is real estate _ plug, and that's real estate all together _ plug, the real estate plug. All right, so thanks again. Like I said, hopefully you like, subscribe, and share it. Hit the notification bell so that you can get this video, and also just talk about it. Leave a comment if you have any information. If you want me to talk about something, leave it down below, and I'll be sure to get to it and respond to your comment. Peace out.